Hey everybody, I hope y'all are having an amazing day today. My name is Mercer and welcome back to another episode of Character War. And today on Character War we have two awesome sorceresses from DC and Marvel respectively. I'm talking Scarlet Witch, the Sorceress Avenger from Marvel, versus Zatanna, the daughter of Giovanni Zatanna from DC Comics. So who wins this fight? Well, why don't we see for ourselves? Scarlet Witch and her brother Quicksilver were born under the names Pierto and Wanda Maximoff under two gypsies, until a powerful being named the High Evolutionary granted them incredible powers. While her brother got superhuman light speed, she got a much more complicated and extremely powerful power, and was believed to be the mutant daughter of Magneto, when in truth she was not. Now, her origins have definitely changed over the years, but what we do know is that she's definitely sisters to Quicksilver and is truly, truly powerful. Wanda can create numerous different hex spheres which she can use to her will. These hex spheres allow her for amazing control over power, and grant her tons of different abilities, including powerful enough strength to let her go against some of the strongest beings like Thanos and the Hulk. These hex spheres allow for tons of different power like flight, short-term levitation, energy projection, energy shields, telekinesis, he says energy manipulation. Yes, a lot of energy powers, I know. Maybe sometimes even different warp abilities, which, yeah, well, are okay. Telepathy, telekinesis, the ability to read minds, the ability to basically cast some sort of mutant magic. And though her powers are mostly explained by science, Doctor Strange has even said before that she does have some sort of mutant like magic. And this power is immense. At her fingertips, she wields it like a boss. I mean, this hero and sometimes villain, depending on the story you're looking at, has been able to shape and manipulate the earth with her reality manipulation, which is incredibly powerful. She's played an enormous role in different teams like the Avengers, X-Men, and sometimes even the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. She's even fought with people like Doctor Strange. She's taken on powerful Blast, joined numerous different teams, taken on people like Hulk, Doctor Strange, Drax, and even powerful beings like Thanos. That's right, I did not stutter. Some people think that Wanda is some of the most powerful Avenger, and sometimes she's even completely defeats more powerful than just dealing with other stronger opponents. She's even said no more mutants and bended the entire world. She took away 90% of all mutant life. That is crazy. With all this and more, Wanda is definitely a powerhouse in terms of power, but she definitely lacks in one special department: her mind. Yes, she's incredibly focused and a great strategist, of course, but what she does lack is that her mental health. She's constantly unsure of what she's doing and constantly is in fear that she could hurt someone. This is why she often holds back between her full power. But with all this and more, Wanda is definitely a powerhouse, and we may see what she'll do what she'll do against Zatanna in this awesome fight with this awesome sorceress. Zatanna's father, Giovanni Zatara, was one of the most powerful magicians in the world, and when he had a daughter, that magic was passed on into Zatanna as well. These different spells are incredible, and Zatara has even been able to deal with the Helmet of Fate once. But when Zatanna was born into the world, she could really give her father a run for her money, mostly by saying her father's spells backwards. These backward spells allow for powerful magician techniques, including the ability to deal with some foes as powerful as Clarion the Witch Boy. Anyway, moving on, these powerful opponents allow Zatanna to do two main things: become a circus performer and make tons of money, and be an awesome magic crime fighter. She has tons of different attacks she can choose from, including energy projection, reality manipulation, size manipulation, numerous different elemental attacks, all because of her voice. When she says these different magical spells backwards, they allow for powerful spells that she can use at will, and sometimes they can even enhance her own abilities. She's gone hand to hand in term with Batman in terms of raw combat, and has even been led the Justice League Dark into combat numerous different times. She has tons of different abilities she can choose from. She's even been trained and held her own against people like John Constantine, Deadman, and even Dr. Fate himself. That's right, I did not stutter. Zatanna has tons of different abilities. Not only does she use these for good, but whenever people have problems with magical problems, they will always go to Zatanna for help. She's a magical expert and has tons of experience on her side with numerous different spells and spellcasters. She's gone toe to toe with Dr. Fate before, and he's even rivaled Swamp Thing, the literal avatar of the green. And while she does have immense power, she's even led the Justice League Dark on numerous occasions with John Constantine and Deadman. With all this and more, Zatanna has tons of power at her side. But it's all limited to her voice specifically. She could weaken powerful beings like Superman due to his magical weakness, but it would all be limited to her voice. If she can't speak, her spells cannot be casted. But still, that by no means has stopped her from winning past battles. So who wins this fight? Well, honestly, to the basic person, you could say that Scarlet Witch could win. Or to the more educated DC fan, you could say that Zatanna could win. But here's my thought out reasoning. Both opponents definitely had tons of experience on their side in terms of hand to hand combat and magical experience. And while Zatanna trumped the both of those being more trained by Justice League members, Justice League Dark members, and even though Wanda has had training from Captain America and Mastermind, that does not mean that they were both pushovers. They could both deal with their own powers, own skill set hand to hand, of course. And while Zatanna had tons more magical experience going into the fight, she also had far better control over her energy projections and her voice. It was all limited by her voice, though. But that did not mean that she had enough power to fully beat Scarlet Witch. Now, Scarlet Witch is incredibly powerful, don't get me wrong. But just because of that reason alone, Zatanna could not find a successful way to win this fight. I'm sorry to all the DC fans out there, and I'm happy to say that Marvel wins its first fight on my show. But Zatanna did have all the means to stall the fight, but really all her spells could necessarily do was pull Scarlet Witch down. Scarlet Witch has dealt with people as powerful as Doctor Strange before, and while we could go into comparing Doctor Strange to Doctor Fate, Zatanna has never had any full spellcaster experience going against Doctor Fate. She's only been called a good sorceress by him, and with the reality bending, there's not much Zatanna could do to help her win the fight aside from stall it. So, in the end, Scarlet Witch had much more power and slightly more training, which gave her the victory in the end. In the end, the winner is Scarlet Witch. On the next episode of Character War, we've got Chun-Li, the strongest woman on Earth from Street Fighter, versus Kitanna, the adopted daughter of Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat. Hope you guys enjoy. Always be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all later.